won't stand a chance.
Tiana is Brooke and I's favorite Disney princess, and so I got her this for Christmas last year, and once a week I've been picking one of the kids to make a meal so I can teach them how to cook. This week it's Brooke, and she's making Duke's macaroni and cheese, and you're going to see that a little bit later on in the video.
I've been beaten to the ground, dragged across the dirt.
Typically plan the week ahead sometime during the weekend. I do like to get it done in the morning if I can. So now I'm just going over my calendar, I'm planning my meals for the week, and making out my grocery list. I have been grocery shopping on the weekends while the kids have been on summer break, but I'll likely go back to doing my grocery shopping while the kids are in school, which is my normal routine. I definitely don't want to eat up the weekends if I don't have to. If you're new here, I typically put my meal plan into Canva and hang it on the fridge. It's a visual reminder for me to reference before bed because usually I have to thaw meat out the night before, and then I also look at it in the morning as a reminder for breakfast and lunch so that it's not taking up space in my brain. I used to put it in my planner, but I feel like I skip over it, so this is what works well for me now. I'm about to be on my way to Whole Foods. My grocery list is so long. We pretty much are down to nothing, which that's typically how I like to run. I really like to go through at least all of my fridge food as best I can so that we don't waste anything, and we literally don't even have milk or eggs or anything at this point. But with that being said, we never really did like a full grocery run after the power went out and that whole shenanigans, so this will be a complete full grocery run. Anyways, while I'm gone, Dustin's going to be working on James's room. We got all of the paint done so far, and so now he's going to start cutting the wood and getting it up there and film that. So hopefully we can get that done next weekend before the kids go back to school, so James is back in his room and gets his room reveal, and so that we can show you guys that video. And then tonight for dinner, we're going to be doing smoked wings on the smoker, which we haven't used in forever. So the fact that we haven't really deep cleaned the griddle is kind of a good thing because it's forcing us to use the smoker. So that's good. We're going to come home, put all of that away, and just kind of get on with the rest of all the things we've got to do today.
But with you here, nothing can scare me. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid.
So I got some pork and maple breakfast sausages, the pasta for the macaroni and cheese. We also have been switching up our fruit because I feel like we're kind of in a rut and letting things go bad. So I got cherries and blueberries and nectarines. I also got this rosemary mint scalp oil. We really love that. Our whole family's been using that. Then I also got these dark chocolate chip gluten-free waffles and this wild blueberry lemon and thyme goat cheese, which is for my friends and I do a girls' night once a month, and so that's what that's for. And we do have a mix of dietary restrictions in our household. Like my husband can't have pepper, I can't have gluten. Brooke is vegetarian. Sometimes she's gluten-free as well, depending on her skin issues. Oh, and that soap smells really good, but it dries out my hands so bad. I really don't suggest it. It didn't do that in previous years, so I don't know if they changed their formula or what. But then we also got the kids some pizza, and then we also got me a gluten-free pizza, and I really like this brand. I'm pretty sure this is the only one I found that has limited oils in it, so that's the one I go with. And then we also got 3 pounds of chicken wings to do smoked chicken wings tonight. And oh my gosh, guys, they came out so good. Just wait till you see them. Like, so good. 2 blocks of cheddar for the pasta, and these I also got for girls' night too. I thought that they would be nice. Lavender shortbread cookies. I'm a shortbread fan. Do you guys like shortbread?
This is what we waited for.
And then I just got these bagels from the bakery. I love bakery bagels, but they never have gluten-free, and that's like the one thing that I really miss is a good bagel with a schmear. Anyways, that oxygen whitener works so good. I also got these bath bombs. They're a multi-pack, so it's a pretty good deal. I think that they're less than $1 a piece. They might be right at $1 a piece, so not bad. Got some apple fritters for the rest of the family tonight, and then this granola. You guys have seen it before. It is so good. Oh, so good. Tub and tile cleaner, which was in my last video. That's what I use. And then I also got the daily granite cleaner, which I'm not sure how like free and clear that is, but I like using it. And I got some whipped cream because I've been putting it on my coffee lately. I'm getting ready for that whole fall mood. And then, some face masks. These I don't know if they're carrying anymore, at least in my store. They're only like $1.50, and I feel like they're actually not terrible for your skin like some other face masks are. Whipped cream cheese, which I love getting the whipped cream cheese. And then we also got the birthday cake cereal. Really good. It's essentially dessert, but the kids really like it. I really like it. Shouldn't be eating it. And then I also got just a thing of salad, which I tend to get the small pack because if we get the big pack, we just won't go through it. And then I always keep these taco seasonings and fajita seasonings on hand. We got some mangoes, and then my pretty pink flowers. I really want to grow those flowers in my backyard. I don't know if I can. We got some angel hair pasta. We're going to be making broccoli parmesan pasta for dinner one night because it's a good vegetarian option for the kids. Apple juice, half and half. And yeah, I think that about covers it. Dustin's got the smoker going and he's just getting the wings prepared. Kind of was a team effort there using our favorite seasoning. And then he's just adding a little bit of extra salt. And the wings went in the smoker for, I think, 2 intervals, one for 20 minutes and then one for 40 minutes. That could be backwards. I'm not sure. He's the smoke master and he's upstairs still working on Bud's room right now. We're like in the home stretch. So we're really excited. We're trying to get him back in his room tonight, but we still have shelves coming in tomorrow. And we decided to actually go with acrylic shelves and kind of really rethink what we were doing for his shelving system in there. So we just don't want it to take away from the rest of the room, and we felt like it would if we didn't do the acrylic. So anyways, Dustin is just putting the wings on the smoker, getting that going. And I love when we use the smoker, even though we rarely use it. We're going to try to get in the habit of using it more because I know the whole neighborhood probably enjoys our smoker because of the way it makes everything smell. It's just delicious. Now I'm just getting the rest of the groceries put away. I am trying to do a restock and refill video as like a normal video rotation. So my next video will be restock, refill, and so like a lot of the groceries and stuff that I bring home, you'll see me kind of getting those actually set up. And I just want it to be like a really relaxing, enjoyable video. I know I love watching those videos on other platforms, and so I just thought putting one together here would be kind of cool too. When I tell you there's no sauce necessary, I do mean like you do not need anything on these other than just a little bit of seasoning and salt. So good. I actually ate them for breakfast the next morning too. That's how good they were.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are? What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder.
It's the next day, and we had horseback riding lessons this morning, which were really early. I mean, they're 8:30, not that early, but early enough. We really enjoy doing that every week. And then I want to show you, this is my digital planner. Now, I use this with my physical planner and my calendar. It just depends on my mood for the day. I just like to have it as a resource, and I think it's pretty. I feel like when I have a really, really busy day, this is good for me because I've normally got my phone in my hand, and so I can just check things off, and I feel like I reference this a little bit easier than I do my physical planner on really busy days. So that's what I like to do. This is everything that I've got going on today. You're going to see that I don't finish everything, but I do get most things done, and I think that that is okay. In just a minute, you're going to see these little, so cute, heart-shaped bowls that I got from the Target dollar spot during Valentine's Day. They're dupes for ones that are at Williams-Sonoma, but it really stings because these just chipped up so easily, and I feel like anytime I shop at the dollar spot for things that are regularly used in the kitchen, it's such a risk because half of the time they just break immediately, and then the other half of the time they last a really long time. So I don't know. I think that I'll probably just end up getting the real deal next year. Now I'm just wiping down the counter so that they can get messy again. I like to cook in a clean kitchen. I mean, don't we all prefer to cook in a clean kitchen? I think for me, when the kitchen is clean, I put things back as I go, where if I kind of start cooking with a messy kitchen, then I don't put them back and it just snowballs and everything is a wreck and it takes me hours to clean it up. And that's just kind of my personality in general when it comes to home cleaning and organizational systems. I have to have really, really solid organizational systems because it's the only way I continue to keep things in order and keep things from getting super chaotic. So I always tell my friends, my house may not always be perfectly clean, but is typically really organized. Definitely not all the way there in this house. You guys know I have a million different organizational projects going on right now, which is driving us a little bit crazy if I'm being honest. I don't know why I do know why, because I wanted everything to be done before school starts, which mostly it will. And I'm going to put it out there that it is going to get done and it's going to be all good. Now I'm starting on the cabbage for tonight's dinner. That's got to cook for a few hours, so I definitely want to get that going as quickly as I can. Brooke is just looking over her recipe and getting out all of her things that she needs for it, and I'm helping her through any words that she doesn't recognize and kind of discussing measurements and things like that as we go along.
To keep it nice and clean, not freak out and cause a scene. I try to hold it together, keep it together, not sure who I really am, just be cute and super bland. I try to hold it together, keep it together.
Do not drop the plastic into the boiling water, folks, or else your plastic will melt.
Yep. Hold it like this. And make sure you get the corners and the edges real good. So I wasn't standing there watching them while they were doing this, but I had asked the girls not to eat too much of the cheese because I was worried we weren't going to have enough. We did end up having to actually add more back in, you'll see. But anyways, I watched this back and it gave me a little laugh. It was super cute. They snuck a little bit of cheese. So al dente means that you're still kind of firm. You can feel it. It's not super mushy. So why did I do it al dente?
Because we're going to put it in the oven.
Correct. So it'll keep it from becoming pure mush. So why don't you... Mm-hmm.
I want to try
Al dente tastes good. It's hot.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So go ahead and you can scoop a third of it. A third. So look, this is about 7 cups. So you want to get it down to 5. Into 3 and into 0. Okay. So the recipe has the kids' work in sections. It's definitely tailored toward kids, this book. I'll try to link it. Hopefully it's still available from Amazon. But so we're doing pasta, then cheese, and a little bit of half and half, so on and so forth, until the very top when we add on the cracker crumbs. What are your family's favorite vegetables to have? Like, is there a vegetable that everybody in your family loves? For us, if you can't guess it, it's cabbage. We all really love cabbage. Also broccoli. I would say we all really like broccoli. And Brussels sprouts, surprisingly. It's interesting, I think, that all of my children like Brussels sprouts, but we have all 3 of those vegetables pretty regularly. I would say cabbage would be the least, but when we have it, we make a good bit up and eat on it for a few days. I like to make my cabbage with half water and then half broth. You can do vegetable broth or chicken broth. I do vegetable broth because Brooke is now a vegetarian. But I bet you it would also be really good with beef broth, corned beef, and then cabbage and beef broth would be yummy. And then I just add a little bit of salt into it. And I also usually add about a half of a stick or a full stick of butter, depending on how much cabbage there is. And then typically I would always also add pepper into it, but pepper is something that we typically add afterwards because my husband can't have it. Now Brooke's just adding on those crackers. We also are going to top it with a little bit of paprika. Now the recipe said like 12 slices of cheese, which I'm like, okay, that's hard to figure out how much cheese. And it does that because it's catered towards kids, obviously. But we did 1.5 blocks of cheese, and that was enough. So I had her shred 1 full block, and then that, when we took it out, was not enough. So you'll see I shred another half block and then add that to it, and that was pretty good. I'm gluten sensitive. I don't have to completely stay away from it. So I did try some of this pasta, which is really good. I would have liked to have had a lot more, but I do just try to refrain. And I don't generally have gluten in my daily life. I've tried to add it back in, and it always I definitely have a sensitivity to it. It makes such a huge difference in how I feel. Mentioned this before, but I have heard that you can get your flour and just some of your foods from Europe, and you don't have a sensitivity to the gluten, that it is part of our manufacturing process. So that's something I want to try just to give it a go, but it's definitely not on my priority list to do right now. Anyways, right now we're whipping up some vegan or vegetarian tuna fish, which is just a can of chickpeas, and you're going to smush those up real well. The better you smush them up, the more the texture is realistic to tuna, and it does taste very much like a tuna fish salad. I mean, there's a slight difference, of course, because you're using chickpeas, but it's a pretty good dupe. I definitely did not smush mine enough here. Anyways, I've been trying to incorporate a lot more vegetarian meals for our family overall. Brooke has just recently gone vegetarian. It's something we've been discussing for the past year with her. She continues to bring up that it goes against her conscience, and she does not want to eat animals if she can survive without eating animals. and I definitely don't want to ever have her do anything that goes against her conscience. And after having a lot of discussions about, our identity is not in what we eat, and it's okay if you change and decide that you do want to eat animals one day, and just all of those sort of conversations and trying to really understand the heart reason behind why she wants to do this, we feel confident that we trust her decision in this. And so, but it's been really good for our family, which is the interesting thing, because we are just naturally eating a lot more fruits and vegetables. So overall, it's been a good transition. So I'll probably be incorporating a lot of vegetarian options into the meals that you see here as well. Meanwhile, this hottie is up here working hard on getting our son's room going. He's got the laser level going that goes around the whole room, and his level. He's very, very meticulous when it comes to projects like this. Really meticulous, which I'm really thankful for, and I learn a lot from him. And so he is getting those board and batten pieces put up, the top piece, and getting those nailed into place. And we also use liquid nails as well, but we're going to have the full video on exactly how we did it and how much it cost coming up pretty soon. So hit notifications to stay up to date on that. This was my first go at gluten-free cornbread, and I wasn't excited at all to make this. It takes so much trial and error to find good gluten-free products, and it's so expensive. Anyways, this was, though, very good. I would recommend it. I didn't add anything to it because I wanted to see exactly what it would taste like by itself. Now, typically, I would add like cheddar cheese and jalapenos or chilies into my cornbread. I definitely like a spicier cornbread. This cornbread, though, is very, very moist. However, I left it sitting on my counter. I didn't put it into my fridge, and at day 2, it smelled rancid. I've never put my cornbread in the fridge. I don't know why this happened and it started smelling gross, but FYI, if you get this cornbread, stick it in the fridge.
Thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you. You and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors. We were in too deep. In your worn out sweaters, thinking we'll be young forever. Driving in your mom's old hatchback, and we were in too deep.
Now I'm working on the fish, so I'm just going to get my pan nice and hot, add in some oil so it's ready to go when we start putting in the halibut. So this actually came out of the Tiana cookbook as well, and so it called for basil leaves, oregano, garlic powder, which I use like the garlic granules instead, and then I decided to add in Cajun seasoning because I needed an extra little kick, and y'all know Cajun food is my favorite. So anyways, we're gonna mix all that together, all those spices, and I didn't follow the recipe here. I just kind of added what I thought. I added a ton of Parmesan cheese, which I definitely added too much. I had just so much left over, and then gluten-free breadcrumbs. You could also do crackers. That's what the recipe called for. And so then I just dumped some butter on top of that and like really let it soak into the halibut and kind of get into some of the folds of the halibut. And then I'm just gonna take that and press it into this mixture. And it's not going to be a super thick coating, but you're going to see that it does crust up really nicely. And I would just suggest, if you follow a recipe like this, try to kind of, again, get in the folds of the fish and kind of stuff it in there. I did it the first time with the tongs, but then I definitely had to get my hands in there and just really get it nice and packed on really good, so we would get a nice little crunch on the fish. This is the whole meal put together. That halibut was absolutely fantastic. This is Bud's plate. I'm going to take my mom tax here, but it turned out really, really good. Very yellow, but very delicious. Now I just want to show you what I got done for the day and what I didn't get done for the day. If I can check off a good 70% off of my list, I always feel pretty accomplished at that. But I always do like to give myself grace and just know it is okay if I don't get every single thing checked off the list. I didn't get the cleaning of the bathroom done. We didn't do a family game that day, but we did have a lot of other good family time. It just didn't include a game as well. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and until next time, guys. Bye.